everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Clueless Internet podcast. I'm your host, Alex. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Howard.
That's me.
And we're back for another week of facts, fakes, and fuck-ups on my part already. How far are we in? 3 seconds, and I already can't speak.
3 seconds, more like 20 minutes, mate.
Oh, gosh. Well, without further ado, Howard, let's get on to our first section, Today I Learned.
Okay.
Sit down and shut up. Today, I learned. Shut up. I learned. Sit down, be quiet. Shut up.
Okay, everyone, welcome to our first section of the podcast, Today I Learned, where I've gathered 4 facts and delved slightly deep into them, into these Reddit posts that I got from one specific subreddit. Today I Learned. If you want to, I think, it's Today I Learned. I know Today I Fucked Up is TIFU, but Today I Learned is actually spelled Today I Learned. Just, in case you want to check any of the links. Well, Howard, my first fact for you is today I learned about Finnish resilience. Religion.
Oh, as in like Finnish people?
Yes.
Okay.
Finnish resilience. So, we start...
Damn it, I've been holding that.
That's my resilience.
I've been trying not to cough.
That's my rebellion.
Oh.
In 1939, which is where we're starting our story, when the Soviet army decided to invade Finland, that's where we're headed.
Rude.
Bit, like coming in, I'm invading.
Oh no, I'm invading.
Oh, sorry, I am invading. You saw a poster, left 2 poster at Island. Is Finland an island?
I live here now.
Bye.
You'll go away.
No, your bed not there. It's on lake. Bye.
You'll live with the fishes.
Get out.
Ugh.
So, but invading Finland was no easy task. With Finland, when Finland ground them to a halt,
They actually put up some resistance. God damn it!
Yeah. We did not expect this. This was. Where was this in the plan?
Thought it would be walking park.
God damn it!
I lied to self.
Get out.
Me get out.
Me get out. It's only me.
I'm leaving.
It's just one guy invading the whole of Finland. Shut up, dude.
I failed you. I failed myself.
Mother Russia.
I failed everyone.
So even though the Finnish were outmanned and outgunned, they
would never be finished.
Thanks for listening to the podcast, everyone. It's been a pleasure. They had a trick up their sleeves. Skis.
What, did they just beat people to death with skis?
Skis.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Using mobile ski troops to swoop in and ambush the Soviet forces.
By ambush, do you mean just like grab and just like there's like a party of like Soviets like walking across a hill and you just see like really stealthy just as people just start disappearing from the back.
Yeah.
Please tell me that's what it was.
I assume it's
ninja
something
skiers.
like that. But I hope it's more comical where they're just like, we could walk on this flat ground.
Skiing in the middle of the summer.
Yeah. This mud is... Oh no, how would Finland people speak?
This I do not know.
I'm going to say Russian. They just go, this mud is a lot harder to get through than snow. Wish we would have thought of it. And then just look back at the captain and he just trying to not make eye contact. Brilliant idea. But yeah, I think you are right. I think they just sort of swooped in and took everyone out.
Nice.
Not only fucking them up, the Soviet soldiers, but also scaring the shit out of them as well. So it was more psychological. So imagine like Predator.
Ninjas on skis.
Yeah. So imagine Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but in Finland.
I'm imagining it.
And it's brilliant. But unfortunately, after 3 months of fighting, they couldn't hold any longer. Finland was forced to sign a peace treaty, forfeiting 11% of their land to Soviet rule. Then in 1941, Germany stepped in and invaded the Soviet homeland. Yeah.
Tend to do that a lot.
You shouldn't have done that. And then just come and start wrecking up Soviet homeland.
Excuse me, what is this? You're just going to raid this country without us?
I didn't think this was in the agreement.
Rude. Hans, okay?
I think I froze. It's a bit cold in these parts. Oh, no, I've gone French.
Oh,
It is a bit cold in these parts, no?
was ist das mit the French? Stop it. Let's get on with the podcast.
So, with Germany stepping in, this gave Finland the opportunity to reclaim their land. So on the 25th of June, they launched their attack, successfully reclaiming the land that they'd lost. But, you know, this was no easy feat. However, like, as waves and waves, literally waves of Soviet forces came crashing in, and due to the war turning in Russia's favor, this became harder and harder to repel.
I'm like the water. I am a wave.
I pass through creek, aka my ass. Great speech, Captain. Okay.
What
Sure.
is...
We just shoot people. What? So,
How did we get here?
are you disobeying me?
Of course. I'm the Soviet.
So they managed to repel them until 1944, when it was now becoming increasingly clear to everyone
That it was
they were
1944 and shit going down.
utterly fucked. Like that's a little snippet from the actual article. This article's written. This article's really well written, so I had to actually copy that
Go
bit.
ahead.
I will read it again. Now becoming increasingly clear to everyone that they were utterly fucked. But this didn't stop them from fighting back. Like they were like, oh fuck, why did we do this? They should have just stayed with Soviet rule. Game plan. 11 years though.
Should have stayed home.
Oh, sorry, not 11 years. How long was it? It was 3 years, and then. Oh no, it was it was 3 years, and then they got it back for a little bit, and then 3 years later they lost it again.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, may as well have stayed. Was it a good bargain? So in steps our man, Amo Koivunen. Koivunen? Something like that. Koivunen.
Is this Finnish, man?
Yes.
Well, then I have no idea how to
Koivunen.
pronounce this.
Amo Koivunen. Yeah, I have no idea, but we'll call him Amo
Okay.
for now. A 24-year-old Finnish soldier. He was on patrol with the Ski Squad, or more formally known, Ski Patrol. After coming under Soviet fire, they slipped away and sled for hours.
Into the darkness.
Do it. With Amo unfortunately falling behind. And instead of stopping to rest, he popped some
He
pills.
did some sick tricks.
Guys, did you see it? I broke my
Hey,
neck.
slow down. I only have one leg. I left the other one on the hill.
Oh, God. Bullet harder than thought. I hope that's the accent they have. I'm very sorry.
The bullet
If it's
truly is more powerful than the pen.
They were wrong.
They shot my pen.
right out of my leg.
I think they were going for the pen.
Those bastards.
Casualty of war.
I'll get them. So, as I say, he popped some pills. Pervitin, I think. Pervitin.
I have no idea.
Which is essentially just crystal meth in
Nice.
tablet form. Now, you know, for this crystal meth, the usual dosage is about, 1 to 2 pills. Your average ibuprofen sort of level. But our man Amo said, fuck that shit, and popped a whole 30-pill bottle.
Give me all.
No, Amo.
Do you need some medication? Yes.
You only need to use 2. Whole bottle, got it. And they just
Yes.
ran off. But after a while, it kicked in. And he felt better.
Fuck.
But then they started to kick a lot harder. And he was off his face.
Fuck me, just going in through the snow. Just.
Oh,
No.
This cloud is delicious. Until he passed out in the snow.
Oh no.
Waking up all alone with no food or supplies. Like the
I
guys...
am all alone with no food or supplies.
You would think, oh, Amo's not really chatty today. Oh, shit. What? Oh, God. You just wouldn't look backwards and realize he's not there. Hello, what?
Everything is just snow.
Hello, we are in synchronized. Scratch name off list. We don't know where he went. So over the next few days, he travelled 250 miles or
What
400
the
kilometers
fuck? On
for
his
our
skis?
European friends. Yeah, on his skis or like his ski.
Was he headed in the right direction at least?
We'll get to that. Encountering more Soviet soldiers, sleeping in freezing conditions with no shelter, got injured by a landmine, and he
Oh,
ate a
fuck.
bird raw. It did also say that he lay in a ditch and ate pine cones, but it didn't say that in the article. I think the person who made the Reddit post made it up.
good day.
Or I was not reading properly.
The pine cones were plentiful.
Went down very well with bird carcass. But he made it back to the Finland base, so he did it after all that trial.
Against all the odds.
I made... Just dies as he gets in the hospital. Once he was admitted to the hospital, he weighed only 43 kilograms or 94 pounds for our American friends. And had a heart rate of 200 BPM, which the average is meant to be 60 to 100. So he's going double time with that methamphetamine pills.
He's going to go into epileptic shock.
So if you think about it, he weighs 43 bags of sugar. It's not a lot of sugar. Well, it is if you eat it all in one go, but it's not a lot at all. But unfortunately, for death, he said, fuck you, making a full recovery and went on to live another 45 years. And that was the end. Well, that was the end of his story. But with Finland caving and signing an armistice with the Soviet Union, that it's essentially just a peace treaty, but with a different name.
Yeah.
I think it's because they add stuff on top, maybe. They essentially had to hand back the land that they reclaimed. They had to disband their army. And they also had to pay $300 million in war reparations. So, fuck.
Christ.
That is a lot. Saving them from total Soviet rule because... well, if as the story goes, Germany did lose. Then they teamed. Well, I mean, this is when they lost it back in 1944. Then they eventually teamed up with Hitler and stuff until the end of the war. So, they didn't give up the Finland Jews apparently. So
Nice. Well done, Finland.
Jewish people living in Finland did not get given up. So.
The goodest of countries.
I suppose
Well
if
done.
you want a silver lining to that story,
Well,
about them joining
it sounds
Hitler.
like they didn't cave to the treaty. It sounds like they did the treaty because that was the best way to get the Soviets the fuck out of their country and stop the Germans from essentially killing all the Jews in their country.
Railroading.
So essentially,
through.
they made peace so that they could protect the citizens that they were protecting. Essentially, it sounds like it was more diplomatic than caving in.
Yeah, it sounds more planned out, really. It's like strategic
Yeah.
retreat.
And I bet they don't hold anything to that treaty now. I bet that's all fucking
Probably not.
dissolved at some point.
It's all gone now, probably. I hope.
One hopes.
I hope they've paid off that 300 million. That is a lot of money to have hanging over your head.
I hope they never paid it.
Yeah, just fuck you. That would be pretty cool. Just goes up and punches Stalin square in the mouth and goes, fuck you. So that's the end of the story. That article was written by, it says Will, no second name.
Think you will.
His bio literally just says, like history and sometimes go outside. And that's enough for me. Thank you, Will, for helping me with that one. Your writing is flipping awesome. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
bro.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame of good writers. Congratulations. You're the first. Make yourself comfortable, I suppose. But with our second one, Howard, today I learned about the deadly pins.
Aren't all pins deadly if you use them right?
I mean, kind of everything's deadly if you use it right. I mean,
Very good point.
in a violent way. Not the right way, sorry. Not the right way. But yeah, the right way. If you use anything the right way, you could kill a man.
Well, there's the whole, isn't there an actual martial art based on that where it's like use your surroundings, essentially. Books, anything you can get
anything
hold
that
of.
you can fight. If you hit your eye on the corner of a book, I don't care how strong you are, that would hurt.
That'll put me down for a day or two.
I don't care how many eyeball lifts you do, it would hurt.
Ow, 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 ow.
So worth it. I'm gonna get so jacked. Ow, 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 ow. Keep pouring the water, dude. Ow, ow. Oh god, yeah, I'm just imagining someone's eye wrapped around a dumbbell now. Beautiful. Well, anyway, with this one, we're going to start our story off on May the 28th, 1903, where
Well, that's a long time ago.
a long time ago, May 28th, 1903, it's a bit 2 weeks ago.
Tell me, Alex, what happened in 1903?
Well, it is in the US of A, where
Change
Leotti...
accents.
Change it. Looking for next car.
Well, howdy, y'all.
I just eat like a floppy disk or something and it just spits out another accent. Oh, too much. Turn it down.
You're at an 11. I need you to turn it down to about a 3.
Hooey.
Who?
Much
Hoy.
better.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, Leotti Bleeker, or Blaker, sorry. Blaker or Blaker?
Bleeker sounds...
No,
I'm
it's
not sure.
Blaker. But
Oh, okay.
Bleeker would be a bit more horrible. It's Blaker. Leotti Blaker from Kansas, US of A. She got a 5th Avenue stagecoach at 23 and 3rd Street. 23rd Street? 23 and 3rd Street. I don't live in America. What does that mean? So you have 5th Avenue
23 and
stagecoach
well,
and 23rd Street.
Isn't everything in blocks? So it would be like maybe the 23rd and then, I don't know, like rows. I don't know.
Oh, fuck, it may have been. Yeah, 5th Avenue, 23rd Street. Oh, okay. Oh, my God. Yeah, that would
like
be
a
right.
fucking Excel sheet or some shit.
That is very trippy. That is very trippy to normal. Or I say normal, local.
Well, it's
to
just
us.
our country's
street
just
codes.
our like sense of any kind of grid system is completely fucked. It's just everything just goes.
Just by the fact that everything's a hill.
in England, much like the people, everything just kind of goes wherever the fuck it wants.
I think I'll go up here to the left or up. I may go underground, just a little. Oh, brilliant. We'll build a road here. This can't have any fatalities, just falling rocks
That's
daily.
the edge of a cliff, sir.
I said
This is
no
England,
fatalities. Think of the potential. The 9 to 5. To be fair, the 9 to 5 drive would be a hell of a lot funner if you had to drive off the edge of a cliff
And then
into
onto another road.
Yeah, underground road, and you just go boom, and
if
you
you
go
don't
about
make
100
it-
miles an hour.
If you don't make it, your family gets some kind of
A
reparation
free
from
toll,
the government.
a free toll entrance to the, because we'd have to toll it because that would cost a lot to maintain. So if someone dies on there, you get toll free for a year in exchange. It seemed a good deal to me. One sacrifice for another better sacrifice. Welcome to the Underground Road. This is just
Welcome to my dark dystopia.
Here's your free coupon,
Welcome to Alex Land.
where you'll never leave. Oh god!
Because everywhere is Alex Land.
Welcome to my domain.
There are no borders because I eradicated them all.
I am the border. So she was she was getting a 5th Avenue stagecoach at 23rd Street. The coach was quite crowded, and as the horse pulled away at speed, it bumped everyone around. Now, the man next to her, was hip to hip
Where were we, Kansas?
and shoulder to shoulder. Well, she was Kansas, but we're up in New York. No, not New York. That is London, baby.
New York, baby.
New York. I'm loving it. Yeah, so he's from London now.
All right.
So they were shoulder to shoulder. That's when he put his arm around her lower back.
Dirty.
Leotti had had enough and pulled out her foot-long hat pin and stabbed it into his arm.
Oh, I've heard this story before. Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, didn't the suffragettes and everyone use this a lot? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know where we are.
Welcome to International Women's
Welcome to the best parts of history.
So she got
where through the worst adverse times, women found a way
to kill with honor.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And he got off at the next stop. So she stabbed him in the arm. He went, oh, Jesus! And then just got off the bus.
I've been stung by a rather large bear.
By a rather large bitch.
Yes.
She later told the New York Times, he was such a nice-looking old gentleman. I was so sorry to hurt him.
But he's been a right cunt.
So I stabbed him. Gave him a little bit of a shank.
Hey, I just gave him a bit of a 1-2, you know.
Shiny a little
Sent him on
prick.
his way.
Just another addition to a little prick. I've
A
heard
prick
of-
for a prick, eh?
So she said, I've heard about Broadway mashers and L mashers, but I didn't know Fifth Avenue had a particular brand of its own. Its New York women will not tolerate mashing. Kansas women... if New York women will tolerate mashing, Kansas women will not.
Oh.
So, New York women are getting mashed. It does... it sounds quite
Sounds
odd.
awful.
It's quite odd. Yeah, I think of mashed potatoes, and I also think quite delicious. So these men will be mashed potatoes. Soon after newspapers were publishing mashers all over the place. Mashers essentially is just another word for a predatory man, really.
Yeah.
Just anyone who sort of gets a
bell end.
bit too personal. A bell end. A bell end.
In every sense of the
Get
word.
a little bit too personal. Or as Theodore Dreiser puts it in his book Sister Carrie, one whose dress or manners are calculated to elicit the admiration of susceptible young women. So, a bell end. So some of the cases popping up included a New York housewife who fought off a man who brushed up against her on a crowded Columbus Avenue streetcar.
Stabs him with the sword. It's my hairpin. Pulls the sheets out of it.
It's like the sword from Bleach. It keeps me prim and proper.
Just a little one to the abdomen. You appear to be dead.
My fifth victim this week. Oh God! But
Just can't stop myself.
it's kind of funny that you say swords. That is foreshadowing. So keep that in mind.
Oh no.
A Chicago showgirl, like sort of the big feathers and kicking out, the ba-da-da-da in Las Vegas, got bothered by a masher's insulting questions and proceeded to beat him with an umbrella. At St. Louis, oh God, some of these
An umbrella laced with gasoline.
laced with pins.
And gasoline.
Gasoline pins. Oh God, it injects into you.
Yeah.
The gasoline just injects into your body and,
she
you
just-
explode.
And then at the end she just flicks the cigarette and...
That'll teach him. So it's St. Louis.
Quite right.
Is it St. Louis or St. Lou?
St. Louis? St.
Oh,
Louis?
St. Louise.
I think it's St.
Oh, it is
oh.
St. Louise, I think.
Okay.
St. Louise school teacher slashed a guy's face with her hairpin. I'm not sure the length of the hairpin because that comes into play rather soon. So this was around the time of the suffragettes and stuff like that. I think this actually started literally started with the suffragettes.
It was part of the rebellion rising, essentially.
Yeah. So as soon as the suffragettes came, bam, you get stabbed, and their fight to walk free and alone in public. So this was the suffragettes, along with getting the vote. I think was it.
I think later on they kind of got persecuted for it, but I think kind of in the early days it was kind of seen as like the honor system. It was like, well, they're just doing what they need to do to survive, so we'll leave it be.
Apparently, they were in a lot of newspapers as being the heroes, being hailed as the heroes. So. Never before in civilization has such numbers of young girls been suddenly released from the protection of home and permitted to walk unattended upon city streets and to work under alien roofs.
Ma'am, your hands appear to be unencumbered. Allow me. I've been stabbed in the face.
Multiple times, this was a bad decision. I'm sorry. Good day.
How about the other hand? Oh, no.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Said social worker Jane Adams.
Thank God I didn't have any actual liquid in my mouth. I was literally like, oh.
Because I would have stabbed you.
Oh.
So dating and stuff became different as well, whereas you wouldn't involve the parents as much anymore, really. So you know how it was sort of...
Your dad's just like, who's this? And then just gets stabbed. Oh, darling!
Oh, God. I really regret those self-defense lessons.
Mind your own business, daddy.
I said pepperoni. Oh, God. That is brilliant / horrifying. So, as I say, parents wouldn't get involved, and it slowly become more freeing up. So, like, you wouldn't... people used to go through the parents before the girl. Weird. Chicago Vice Commission, however, said that unchaperoned women must dress modestly. No painted cheeks or glimpses of ankles or a glimpse of ankle.
They just start dressing up as samurais.
They just start dressing up as a giant foot.
No skin whatsoever shown, but they're just suited up in armor with like several like swords down their side,
Several
shurikens and fucking everything.
Oh god, I'm imagining these all just fashioned out of hairpins.
just like kunai knife hairpins and fucking everything.
Oh my god, do you know? Is it Raphael, the red turtle in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It's just his little daggers, but made out of hairpins.
Fuck, I forgot the name of those.
Oh fuck, this is awesome. Okay, I'm loving these vigilante women.
That's a great idea for a comic book series, just like samurai women in the fucking 1800s.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Oh wait, when was this?
No, this was 1903.
Early 1900s. That could be a cool.
1903 to 1907, I think. So, essentially, a suffragist replied to that saying, "The vileness of a masher's mind." But back to the hairpins.
That I just stabbed.
We're going back to the hairpins that we've been talking about the whole time because I thought we'd get off topic while writing this.
Of course. Well, we're talking about stabbing people.
But back to the hairpins that are stabbing
with
people.
hairpins.
Instead of arguing with the suffragettes, they decided to attack their self-defense tactics, labeling it the hairpin peril.
Oh, is this when they started getting persecuted then?
Well, this is when, I mean, to be fair, this is when it started to get a bit out of hand.
Just fucking slashing people's throats and fucking...
Just like, in the street.
Just like women sneaking up to people on rooftops and just like shanking them and just letting until they fall off the building. Oh
God. Imagine it's just Gotham.
Fucking people just throwing fucking hairpins at people.
Oh my God, it's like the Purge.
It would... Ooh.
Or like, as I say, like imagine Gotham, but instead of guns, it's just loads of hairpins flying everywhere.
Fuck yeah.
Batman would be pinned down way too quickly. So they recounted some stories of innocent men being attacked. So a 19-year-old girl from Scranton who playfully stabbed her boyfriend,
I like the playfully.
piercing his heart and killing him. So yeah, playfully. Very well played. A New York streetcar passenger who felt a sharp prick in his ear. It was an accidental jab of the pin. But he later fell into a coma and died.
Oh, dear.
Which took a really, like...
Was that like an infection or something?
I think so, it must have been.
Fuck.
Well, it's in your hair, isn't it? So, like, it's just flapping about everywhere. So you're getting all bacteria on it. So, that story went downhill much like the stock market.
Yeah.
It wasn't just men being attacked either. Oh, actually, no, I missed one out. Sorry. Another New Yorkian had 100 women factory workers attack some police officers after arresting 2 women accused of making anarchist speeches. So
they were just they were just saying, "I would like some rights, please." Anarchist.
How dare you? Oh, gosh.
Hang them.
They're speaking nonsense. So you won't get this one, Howard, maybe, but if you've seen the start of seen the start of Bad Boys for Life, the new movie with famous YouTuber Will Smith, it's like sort of the opening scene in the laundrette. You'll know what I mean if you've seen it. So yeah, that was what it was like with these police officers. I assume there was no pictures. Don't quote me on it.
I'm quoting you on it.
Shit. Well, as I say, it wasn't just men getting attacked either. A woman and her husband's mistress pulled out hairpins and started to circle each other, Star Wars style, until police broke it up with one newspaper saying, "We look for new and imported Colt hat pins or the Smith & Wesson quick action pin," saying they're more like guns.
Yeah.
So by 1909, so this has been going on for about 6 years since that one that we talked about first, the hat pin became an international threat, with the head of Paris and Hamburg police considering length regulations. When in March 1910, a year later, Chicago considered banning hairpins over 9 inches.
Oh.
With anyone caught with one longer would go to jail and would get a $50 fine. Or $1,421.31 in today's money, or £1,114.84 in British currency.
I suppose.
So quite a lot.
I suppose with like pins taken out of the game, were they allowed to at least like hit people with like umbrellas and stuff still like.
Oh, I think they were allowed
filled-
to still
filled
like
with,
self-defend
filled
themselves.
with like bricks and stuff.
Yeah, I think they were still allowed to like defend themselves, but I just think it was the fact that people were dying mainly.
Yeah.
I guess it was sort of like how they kind of cracked down on knives and stuff like that. Like a knife is perfectly fine when it's at home and not being
In
used
someone's
to insert into
heart.
someone. Same with hairpins. It's fine when it's just in the hair, I suppose. But then if you start going around slashing people's tires and necks, then you get in a bit of
Well,
trouble.
that turned violent and awful.
Yeah.
Tires and
Necks.
something similar to tires. Necks.
Something similar to tires. Your heart muscle. Delicious. You just see someone with a hairpin just trying to cut out a little. Oh, come here.
Oh.
I don't want to imagine that. Actually, that's really made my chest hurt.
Too late.
I'm dying. So during the hearing of this, it was said, if women care to wear carrots and roosters on their head, then that is a matter of their own concern. But when it comes to wearing swords, they must be stopped. So there's the foreshadowing of the swords for you, which was countered by Nan Davies, who represented several women's clubs. If men of Chicago want to take the hat pins away from us, let them make the streets safe. No man has a right to tell me how I shall dress and what I shall wear.
Bitch.
But despite this, the vote passed 68-2, and other places followed suit, including Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, New Orleans, and in Sydney, Australia, 60 women were jailed instead of paying the fine for wearing murderous weapons.
Oof.
And in London, women refused to buy hat pin point protectors. So they refused. They were not having it. So like the little balls that you can stick on the end.
Fucking pussies.
We are not being silenced by little balls.
I will not
she
sheathe
walks
my
in.
hairpin.
I shall sheathe it in your chest. This is but another argument for votes for women and another painful illustration of the fact that men cannot discipline women, said suffragist Harriet Stanton Blanche.
Good.
Women need discipline. They need to be forced, if not led, out of their barbarism. But women never have and never will submit to the discipline of men. Give women political power and they best among them will gradually train the uncivilized, just as the best among men have trained their sex. I don't think that was from Harriet Stanton Blanche.
No, I think that bit was from someone else.
I think that bit was from someone else, but I haven't written it down. Here, I will...
It's fucking hilarious if she just fucking...
180.
180 necked her and that was... and then she has whiplash and...
You know, women are great, but I fucking hate them.
Women are great, but they just cannot be disciplined.
No, they cannot.
At first it's like, they will not be disciplined. And then it's like, they cannot be disciplined.
I'm pretty sure that was said by someone else.
I think I'm schizophrenic.
Oh God, yeah, I think that was. I think that was said by someone
That
else.
sounds very much like a white male.
Man saying something. I think it probably was a man. But so to check out the links to these stories, you can go to cluelessinter.net. I'm very sorry for I don't know who said that, but it's
you just
me.
Alex.
That's me saying it. I hate all women. There, I said it.
Could you?
But yeah, you can check the links in the description for all that stuff if you want to see who actually said that. Sorry for misrepresenting you, Harriet. (1912) was it? World War One? You're gonna have to cut the silence between that. So this all died down. However, when World War One rolled around, in 1912. Oh my God! I can't say it.
1219. Ah, fuck up.
This all died down, however, when World War One started in 1912, and around, and basically there was a new threat at hand: the flappers.
Oh,
but that's a story for, well, you know, I'm not going to make any promises. So that's a story for sometime in, we'll see. With that, let's move on to our next fact. Today I learned about the useless airport. Do you want to hazard a guess at what this might be about? Have you heard anything about this or any offshoots of this?
Is it an airport in North Korea?
No.
That's kind of just like a front?
This is the Berlin Brandenburg. Or
Berlin.
Berlin-Brandenburg. Berlin-Brandenburg or BER on the little ticker. The state-of-the-art international airport, which was meant to open in 2012, but it never did. No passengers have come to the station, with ghost trains only rolling in to keep airflow.
Yeah.
No one has stayed in the smart hotel with only a skeleton crew dusting and turning the taps to keep the water flowing.
Wait, is this place like in the middle of nowhere, or is it a popular city?
We'll get Berlin. It's the Berlin-Brandenburg.
Yeah.
So it's in Berlin.
But is it like, that's not in the middle of nowhere. So how did did it never open, or did just no one ever turn up?
We'll get
Because that's
to
just
it.
weird.
We'll get to it.
People was it just like people were just completely blind to its
we'll
existence?
Get to it.
I don't know. And just walk past it. Walk straight past that. Just walk straight past an airport with aeroplanes and everything, just looking at it going, I wonder what that is.
We'll get to it.
I guess we'll never know. And then just walk away.
It says airport in big letters outside.
Aeroplanes just like taxiing on the runway, never taking off, and just like fucking there's a massive like tower terminal, and people just walk past going,
That's a really big restaurant.
I wouldn't want to eat there.
Gosh, must take ages to get your meal.
Food's probably cold by the time it gets to your table.
God.
What a stupid idea.
I see it going under in a month.
I'm leaving.
Bye.
Why did I come here?
Where's my ticket?
I think I've missed my flight. Where's this airport? Just standing right in front of the fucking chain link fence. Where's it? What?
He's on the plane.
This isn't right.
Where's the gate? I only see clouds.
Are we in the sky?
Fuck.
Who am I?
Where's the restaurant?
Is that an airport?
Couldn't be.
It must be. Well, I think that's where I left it.
So, you would have no one in the Grand Terminal building, luggage carousels being used once a day to stop them from seizing up, not processing a single bag or suitcase. Indicator boards using data from other airports to show arrivals and departures, with some of them being worn out since the initial build and needing replacing. Being years overdue and with billions over budget. So what happened? How did the engineering capital of the world let this happen? Well, we've got to go back to when the Berlin Wall stood. So we're going back a little bit.
East and West Germany.
Yeah. So West Berliners had access to flights and like great travel connections, trains, stuff like that. Like however expensive they were, because I assume flying was very expensive back then. They were accessible. On the other hand, the East Berliners with Soviet rule, so we're going back to the Soviets, flight was not an option. Like, you couldn't. Then in 1987, Ronald Reagan came to West Berlin saying to the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev,
Ich bin ein Berliner.
What did he say?
He said, I am a hot dog.
Oh,
no, wait, wasn't it I'm a donut?
Oh, did he say that?
I think he said Ich bin ein Berliner, but if you say Berliner in there, I think it means a type of donut. So
because he can't speak. Oh, God.
Technically, he came in and went, I am a donut.
And the crowd just went,
Yes, he's a donut.
build that wall. So, blah, blah. So, my good friend Ronald Reagan, who we spoke about before on the podcast.
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Donut. He just
Mammy.
reinforces it with English. He asked Mikhail if he could tear down the wall.
Get out!
Matata.
Corona Matata.
Corona Matata is a wonderful thing. Hakuna I can barely sing. So yeah, then in 1987, Ronald Reagan came to West Berlin saying to Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down the wall. He also added, which apparently no one really took any notice of, but he said this as well, we looked ahead of them, Ronald Reagan speak.
Ronald Reagan, he kind of
Ronald
spoke
Reagan.
like this.
We look to a day. Oh, did he? Oh my God, did he say? Oh,
He was the one who called
did he
his
say
wife
like Mayor Wiggum? Not Mayor Wiggum.
Uh,
Chancey Wiggum. Is it in?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a police officer, isn't it, Wiggum? Who
It's
who's the mayor?
Mayor.
I cannot think of it. Well,
I cannot comment on that at this.
we look to the day when West Berlin
Pretty much,
So when West Berlin can become one of the chief aviation hubs in all of Central Europe. With the wall coming down in 1989, Berlin aimed to rebuild the infrastructure and come together once again with each other and the world, in the hope of making it a new global destination. I mean, and they succeeded.
Yeah.
Berlin is quite an expensive place to go to. And then they got to work making that happen by building a railroad station, or building a rail station, that extended in each direction, like in every direction. Every
direction possible.
Every direction you can think of. Tracks were overlapping.
It was just a rotating rail.
Oh, gosh. German ingenuity, you gotta love it. Linking the rest of Germany and onward. So that it sort of just went on for miles, whatever. Just
forever and
not that impressive, dude. I've made trains. They then set to replacing the Tempelhof and Tegel in the west, so these are airports, and the Schönenfeld, I think.
Bless you.
Schönenfeld, thank you. In the former communist east. I did put former communist east, so really east. They then set up a company to do just that. Now, I've split this up into little sections. So our first one is the board. The supervisory board was full of politicians. So essentially, they've hired people to start building a big, brand new airport.
Yeah. So these are the people who aren't getting their hands dirty. These are the thinkers. These are the idea people. What if we built an upside down airport?
Well, no one would think of that.
No one's done that before, have they?
If the universe is so big, why won't it fight me? So, the supervisory board was full of politicians who had no idea how to supervise the project, said Professor Genia Kostka of the Free University of Berlin. I hope I got your name right.
No, you don't.
Because welcome to the Hall of Fame of names I've got wrong. There's hardly any room.
Welcome to Not My Vocabulary.
Welcome to Not My Vocabulary. They were in charge of key decisions, which is when we jumped to 2002.
No, we meant just design the keys. What are you doing? Why are you drawing an airport? What's happening
what?
here? We asked you to draw some keys. What is this?
I said air fort, not airport. That's why it was upside down.
Fools.
Idiot. Have you ever watched Avatar?
Oh, wait, this is 19... What year is this?
This is 2007.
Have you never seen Avatar?
Idiot. Like, oh, yeah, he just says it before it's even out. And he goes, he knows about the time machine. Kill him. So they were in charge of all the key decisions, which is when we jumped to 2007 to 2008, when the global financial crash hit everyone a little bit too hard. This made it harder than ever to find specialist contracts to build the port.
And everything.
Well, everything was explained. I got your brick here, $45. My left shoe, mostly worn, $500, buddy. What a bargain. But they carried on using public money to fund the venture anyway. Martin Delius, a former Berlin city politician, said they decided to give 30 to 40 contracts to smaller companies, which they thought would pressure into giving them lower prices. So, fuck you. They just wanted to get some cheap-ass labor to do this. An airport is important. You need to get it right, because if you don't, no one will turn up, and
planes will crash and shit
into the port. If you've got a stupidly designed airport and your airport actually has like a runway painted on the top because you're an idiot, a plane's going to crash into the roof. So
help.
That's my tangent of I'm not a Berlinian. They built a very complex controlling system which didn't work. Then they chose to change the scale
Of course
and
it didn't, because
content of the
these
airport.
are the idea people.
These are the people who think of the bigger picture.
But imagine if we put a loop-a-de-loop in the just imagine.
That could be a tourist attraction. Or rails. We need rails.
Ride the death loop into the grind rails.
Also, I think we need to make the airport so awkwardly shaped that we can't just have elevators to everything or those things that make you walk faster, because that would be stupid to make it easier to walk around an airport.
That's a fantastic idea, Ted. But also, it should be a skate park.
But also, you're fired.
No! No, I'm not. Skate park.
No, you're fired.
Skate park or you're fired. Also,
An ice cream bar.
ice cream on every corner.
Ice cream on every corner so that when kids hit
And
their heads, we can't get sued.
Every roof and under every sewer grate. Ice cream everywhere. On the runway. Ice cream airplanes.
It will soften the landing and also make it less devastating when people get injured, because everyone knows sugar water is nice.
And the toilets, entirely theoretical toilets.
Ice cream.
They're not actually there.
Ice cream.
I mean, I agree with you, but the toilets. Imaginary toilets. Yes.
I can see the potential. We're gonna be rich. And then he just cuts to like 3 years later when they're like in a cardboard
Why is
box.
no one coming to our airport?
Where is everyone? Oh, they're on the plane.
It's halfway around the loop-de-loop.
Oh gosh, should have built it bigger.
Get the broom.
More bodies. And that's where you just find out it's two guys in Berlin just in a cupboard just speaking to
Why
each
have
other.
we got these awfully thick British accents?
Because we're from Germany.
Don't you know? All villains have British accents.
Welcome
Even
to hell.
in Germany.
It is just the way. Then, well, as I say, then they chose to change the scale and the content of the airport, while it was being built, doubling the expected capacity. So, we've laid the foundation, we've paid billions of dollars, we've lost a few men for this, but
Yes.
could we double it in size in any way? Like,
Only a few.
have you seen,
I mean, we could lose a few more.
like,
Really.
I mean,
Ted, lose a few more.
there's a few, I've got a few in my emails that could do the job, so.
Let's build this airport on the bones.
Of you, not us, of you.
Goodbye, Ted.
You can see him just hangs up. He's like, what? And then he comes back and like the next day and he goes, why is it not double the size? How many men have we lost? 0.
Where is Ted? Sir, there is no Ted. Ted never worked here.
What?
Who in the devil are you?
Ted. And then he just like, Ted. Ted. And then it just fades and then he's just been in a coma this whole time and he hasn't made an airport.
This just sad Hulk music.
So next we move on to the architect, the pencil man, Meinhard von Gherkin.
Oh, yes. Gherkin.
Who didn't like shopping, who described passengers dragging around unwanted bottles of whiskey like a beggar.
I agree with this man. Shopping is awful.
Shopping is awful. Put me in front of a screen instead of a cashier any day.
When I go shopping, I know exactly what I'm getting. I know where I'm going, and that's it. So if people generally get in my way, I'm just like, why don't you know what you're doing?
I steamroll through them and get battery charges.
I'm just like, and then I'm out, and I'm just like, as little time as possible.
I agree. The shortest time I can spend in the shopping centres and things like that is the best time, because then I can go home and play Dragon Ball Z.
It's perfect practice for times like this around the coronavirus. Like I had to go shopping today, and I literally was just like beeline for everything that I needed, and then just except for the stuff that I couldn't get because you fucking assholes.
Flour.
Fucking
Why flour?
Looted it all apparently.
Looted it all.
Yeah, so I just like fucking beelined it for everything. I was literally in and out in 5 minutes, and just like, and there were literally just people walking around, just like coughing into the atmosphere. I was like, Jesus, literally just like I basically tried to avoid any kind
I
of...
want to imagine this like an action scene in a film.
Well, like, if there were, like, groups of people around, like, the end of an aisle, I would just kind of orbit around them until they cleared out the way. I was like, I'm having 2 meters between me and all of you people.
God.
Literally, I've already seen 3 people cough. Like, and I'm like, no, none of you have come. You're literally just like coughing into the baskets and the fucking trolleys you're walking around with. And I'm just like, oh no, this is going to be the epicenter.
A little bit of leftovers for the next person. So, this made him not want to add any shops or as little shops as possible.
Oh.
But when the airport company caught wind of this quite late into the development of the building, they insisted on adding whole new floors for shopping. So instead of, no, not what you want, what we want. Stop. Draw the money.
The idea, people.
Draw the money.
Do it.
Apparently, as they make 50% revenue from the shop, so pretty good. So now we move on to construction, part 1.
Yes.
Extra space for sprinklers, and smoke extractors had to be crammed in.
I've invented these things. They're called sprinklers. What do? They're very much like sprinklers, but with glitter.
In the case you want to make the fire spread faster. It's sort of, so you've got the option.
Pretty much, yes.
That'll be $3,000 per one, thank you.
That'll be $3,000 per capsule of glitter.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to America.
Jesus, yeah,
sorry, no, this is Berlin.
Oh, welcome to not America.
Welcome to the capitalism of the world.
Thank you for coming.
Aren't we wonderful?
Thanks for $3 million. Nice doing work with you.
Here's your glitter, you fucking idiots.
Like, I can't imagine how much something like stupid as like a bottle of glitter would probably cost if you were building millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff. Like Elon Musk with his whole space rocket and stuff like that, as opposed to the water rocket.
How many sprinklers has he installed?
Too many, if you ask me. Too many. But like, he had a radio and they quoted him like 100 and something thousand or like something ridiculous for a radio, and he challenged his engineers to make it for like $1,000.
He's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Okay.
Bye.
I don't need one. They'll read. I can't imagine a worse fate. To which, as I'm reading this massive document, to Genia, blah blah blah. So the sprinklers were put in, to which Genia compared it to fixing an aeroplane while it's flying. A little bit difficult.
But I can do it.
Give me those sucky suction cups.
Sucky suction.
Those sucky suction cups. And he's like,
I'm an engineer.
We talked about the sexual harassment stuff. They were also trying to keep the competitive prices sort of in line with other competitive prices of the airline industry.
Yeah.
Martin saying they didn't have any gates intended for low cost flights. I was about to say low light flights. Live flights. So they didn't have any gates intended for the lower priced flights, only the much more expensive jet bridges. And that's when the board part 2 comes into this. Like, this wasn't in the plan for the board.
Yeah.
And the then mayor Klaus Wowereit, who
Hello,
hated...
yes, this is Klaus.
This is Klaus.
This is my airport.
I am not a fan of scaling things down.
That's amazing.
For the price of...
Make all the gates really, really, really high.
Do you know I literally print the money?
No low gates.
no common gates. So yeah, the Klaus hated the idea of having to scale things down. They insisted...
Only up!
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
No
up
one can
and
get to
away.
it. Just only he can get to it on his private helicopter. He's like, perfect. So they insisted on new departure gates be built for the giant Airbus A380 aircraft. So the A380 is the largest passenger plane in the world. It's that double-decker, the double-decker one, with a wingspan of 80 meters, which I did Google, and I think it's
a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit bigger than you. I think it's like the size of the width of a football field, or just more than that, because I know that's what everyone compares everything to. So yeah, just to give you perspective, like you've ever measured a football field.
Yeah, if you've never been to England, for some reason we measure everything in football pitches.
They do it in America as well. Like,
do they do it in America?
They do it like sort of the American football pitches.
Yeah.
They do it with that. They
with
go,
the
oh,
fucking hell.
through 53 pitches.
We're as bad as each other.
We
We really are.
we are each other technically.
Yeah.
But as a local, and then it.
We are really.
I mean, yeah, but then it gets
They are our children.
it gets kind of grey after that.
And apparently we're awful parents.
But as the low-cost planes became more popular, they had to also build accommodation for those. So what have we got so far? So we've got doubling the size.
Yeah.
We've got crabbing in safety measures. We've got the fact that they were like, the peasants, not in my flight zone.
General vicinity.
They might have the poor.
I call it Corona.
My corona. So they wouldn't accommodate for the dregs like us.
Oh, not these dregs of society.
Oh God,
Not again.
where are their gold teeth?
Give them to me.
Yours will do. That's probably why no one goes to the airport. It's just him at the door going, "Want us?"
I need to go buy a sandwich.
He just starts eating them at the door. Oh, brilliant snacks. So all of these factors mixed together in an awful supervision led to the airport builders losing control of the project. Despite that, they set a grand opening date.
Oh, it's like a whirlwind.
So despite that, they set a grand opening date of 2012. But many workers, many working construction, warned about the fundamental problems. It's made of sticks. It won't hold. I'm going Louis Walsh there. It won't hold. But the politicians ignored them in favor of a big party and success.
Apparently, it says that the left wing of the airport is going to be held up by hope.
You said there's whiskey at the party.
This is possible.
There will be champagne.
We are going to simply
food?
We are simply going to will that wing of the airport, just above the ground.
Yes, it'll be fine.
It's perfect to German engineering.
To go on a real
its
plane,
finest.
you have to pay double. It's brilliant. But as I say, they ignore this for a party and success.
No tickets for the airplane. No, if you want to go on the airplane, you just buy the airplane. we sell airplane with no tickets. What is this?
No,
passengers.
You don't know how to fly. I'm
idea.
going
Awful.
Irish. You don't know how to fly. Oh no, here's your ticket.
Where does this awful man come from?
It's just some guy at the airport trying to sell everyone tickets. Oh yes, it's a ticket for the gate all the way over there where you can't catch me.
I'm pretty
Then he
sure.
just starts legging it
I'm
to the
pretty
other
sure
side.
that's one of the poor. Get him out of my airport.
I smell it. So, luckily, the building fire safety officials called a halt to the opening when the fire safety systems were not working like to standards. So, like their sophisticated fire systems.
I don't understand. We installed the sprinklers.
We installed the fire.
We installed the sprinklers and the flamethrowers. I don't.
Emergency
So
flamethrowers.
confused.
Get hungry. Reheat. So their sophisticated fire systems they had in place actually consisted of temporary employees sitting by doors with phones ready to flip the alarm if notified. So like, the sprinklers.
Yes,
but
I'm absolutely on fire. Yes. I would like to leave now. Thank you.
is it spreading? No.
To my hair, yes.
And he just hangs up the phone and goes, sounds fine.
You'll be all right.
And then we go to construction part 2. New construction boss, Hartmut Medorn. Hartmut Medorn.
Helmet.
He made a list of faults and failures, including small ones like the wrong light bulbs and big ones like all the cables are wrong, said Martin. That was from before. Sometimes I flip between first and last names, but that was Martin Bellius, I think, above.
How dare you?
So the ex-politician. Can you guess the number of faults in the end? Do you want to guess the number of faults in the airport towards the end? I think the place is sort of built. It's like it's ready, but it's just all the inside shit that's going on.
I think I'm going to say all of them.
I need a specific number, I'm afraid.
Yes.
Yes.
All. The whole thing was the whole thing was a mistake.
Front doors on the roof.
We never actually built it. It was just in our minds. I had a lot of LSD that year.
It's like the North Korea thing. They've put loads of like billboards up around it that just look like an airport. And then it's just a massive pool actually inside if you look from Google Earth.
Perfection.
Feel go places. So in total, I'm going to guess you said 5.
Yes, all.
There were 550,000.
Oh.
This includes chaotic cabling dangling all over the place and rising costs of maintaining the building. Because, you've got to run that train, you've got to pay the skeleton staff, you've got to pay people to get everything.
Apparently you didn't pay anyone to build the fucking thing.
I mean, yeah, it's taking flipping...
Why are these cables running down this hallway?
Come back!
There is a cable around my neck. How did this even happen?
Oh, it's a snake. Ah!
Why are there snakes? I see you've met security. First day.
Going well, I see. Another casualty.
It's bitten me. Then it's doing its job.
It means get out.
Apparently, you are a pleb. Leave.
I smell the poor, and so do they. Martin and Moore thought it best just to abandon the project. Saying, Martin, someone from before, I can't remember who these people are as I get through the story, but Martin said, that's a point of no return. It's public money. If you spend it, you need to get something out of it. This being said, the overall cost estimated to finish the airport will be 6 billion euros, up from the original 2 billion euros that they initially expected.
Fuck.
And that's all being paid for with taxpayers' money.
Of course it is.
Of course, it is the government. This obviously coming with mixed reactions of rage, sadness, boredom, and dark humour. And some...
How the fuck did they get taxpayers' money?
With taxes.
No, but... How did the airport?
Oh, because they're politicians. It's politicians building the airport. So they just use taxpayers' money.
Oh, fuck. Okay, carry on.
Do you remember that education? Oh, we're building planes.
I think I may have blanked out when you mentioned that they were politicians. I hate.
Yeah, they were politicians on the board.
I did.
Because the guy who spoke before was an ex-politician when it was going on.
Fuck these people.
So, with the dark humour...
Apparently I've turned into Alan Rickman.
Hello.
I apologize.
For the airport. Thanks, Alan. And some Philip Messenger and Bastian Igniswensky, making profit from the situation by making a board game based on the situation.
Oh no.
Called
The Shitport.
Rest in peace me for trying to say this German name. Unbechen das Verrückt Flughafenspiel. Basically, the shit airport game because the airport's shit. The main goal of the game is to waste as much money as possible. Everything on these cards has really happened, said Philippe, including residents' noise complaints, someone stole an ashtray, some of the escalators from the train station were built too short, needing very expensive additions, and others, which I couldn't read because I don't read German. But there is a silver lining, as always, to a lot of these stories, kind of. You can actually go to this airport on October the 31st this year.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay. But
goodbye.
Demolish it.
Kill it. It's not alive. Kill it.
Build a McDonald's. It'll be fine. I don't know why I've gone Russian again. But yeah. So
hello, I'm also here.
So you can go to that airport on October the 31st if you do wish. Halloween night. I doubt anything bad will happen on Halloween night. So have at it. Have at thee. And with that, we shall move on to my last fact of this podcast, which is today I learned about the first streaming service. Have you ever heard of like Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music? Ever? No.
No.
Well,
Who?
essentially, you pay for airwaves. How about Telharmonium? Ever heard of them?
No.
You just say, yes, I'm really well adverse to them.
I'm very confused. Where are we?
So,
Who are you?
this
Why are
company,
you in here?
this company was patented in 1897 and was the Victorian Spotify, essentially. With home radios being a decade away at this point, Thaddeus Cahill created Telharmonium,
Hello, my name is Thaddeus.
initially known
Yes.
as Dynamophone in
Dynamophone.
New York City. New York.
Thaddeus is Dynamophone.
Hello, I'm Thaddeus, owner of the Dynamophone.
I'm Thaddeus, elder of the Dynamophone.
May I kiss your hand? Ah, my eyes!
Oh, wow, I've been stabbed.
That pin really hurt.
Oh, you got stabbed so hard you turned Russian.
Yeah. Oh, my brain. My brain has reset. He was a Russian spy. It worked. So essentially, it worked through the telephone line, as you could have guessed, and would allow subscribers, typically hotels, restaurants, and homes, eventually.
So did you just kind of dial into a...
Not so much individuals, but you would have to pick up the phone, ask the operator for Telharmonium,
Oh, imagine it's like a big switchboard.
and once connected, people used paper funnels to pump out the volume. So like there was no electric amps back then, so you would essentially have to just get like imagine when you filter coffee, just put one of those into. If you think, I was about to say, think of the machine. Oh shit, phones are really small actually. Yeah, so you'd have to get like a little. Jesus Christ, that would be very quiet. You'd have to get a little paper thing and just amplify the sound before electric amps came about.
The speaker's also only powered by the phone line, especially at that point.
And that will play
There
a
would have
part.
been no external electricity, so it was probably very shit. You'd be much better for just one person to hold the phone up to their ear and go, spiffing good time.
Yeah. Well, that will play a part. That'll come into it later.
It had better.
So there was no, as I say, there was no equivalent electronic wise to the paper. The music was made live on Broadway and 39th Street, using the entire floor of a building known as Telharmonium Hall. It was filled with 200 tons of machines required to make the music, including spinning rotors, switchboards, transformers, and alternators.
Was it all automated machinery?
It
Playing
gave
like
the
the
impression
instruments.
of nothing so much as a business as a blah blah. I'll start that again. It gave the impression of nothing so much as a busy machine shop or a center of considerable manufacturing industry, according to a 1906 article at McClure's magazine. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. But this still required human input, with 2 keyboards set up above the machinery in a separate room that would be hooked up to the switches.
Yeah.
Electric waves sent out by great central machines were transformed by a familiar device of the telephone into sound waves and reach our ears as symphonies, lullabies, or other music, at the will of the players. Again, from the Troy McClure magazine. So that would essentially require somebody to be there around the clock. Not one person for 24 hours, but you'd have like, Thaddeus's rock hour, and then you'd have like it's essentially like it is radio essentially, kind of like Spotify. I suppose you wouldn't have any adverts on there, because you subscribe to it. God damn, I wouldn't expect advert. Imagine an advert back then.
You call the cheap line and it's just a guy in a room
going ba la 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 ba la la, and then like you could just hear the people going down the phone going, "What the fuck is this?" And he gets put off. So he's like, "Ba la la la."
This is Thaddeus.
Please leave me alone. Blah la 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 la.
The longer you stay here, the longer I'm locked in this room.
Apparently, I mean, going off that, apparently it was quite eerie music, but people were mind blown with McClure.
Really want to hear the eerie music.
So did I. I couldn't find it.
I'm gonna have to.
We may have to do some
I
extra
may
research
go
after
down
this.
a rabbit hole after this because I want to hear that.
We may have to go down a
I want
rabbit
to
hole.
hear. I want to hear it. Ah.
Google it, everyone. I wish I did have a little bit of a recording of
It
it.
may not be online. There may be some record of it somewhere, but it may not be online. We may have to. Yeah.
So the McClure magazine said one's first feeling upon hearing of the new machine is one of utter incredulity. Incredulity. Thank you. And
I had to literally to say that. I had to close my eyes because my brain.
Yeah, that really hurt to
fucking
say that.
aneurysm.
Incredulity. And the New York Times saying it is scientifically perfect music, capable of reproducing any sound produced by any musical instrument, and many more that non-musical instruments produces. So it's just some guy going. Dun 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 ah dun 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 ah dun 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 dun. It's like
Skibby deep dub. I'm the 1800 scat man. Scooby doop doop doop.
somebody on the other line is going, "Oh my god!" and just shedding a tear. This is brilliant, scientifically a marvel.
It's art.
Sounds like
Excuse you.
extravagant.
Extravagant.
Oh my god!
I think this says
Hello.
ex vegana.
I think I'm having a stroke.
I'm pretty sure that says ex veganant.
Am I pregnant? Sounds like the extravagant exaggeration of a charlatan, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. That sentence took it out of me. I'm going to read that again. Sounds like the extravagant exaggeration of a charlatan, doesn't it? So that was the New York Times saying that. This caught the eye of Mark Twain. The New York Times. Times of New York.
Assholes forever.
This caught the eye of Mark Twain, the author, who showed up and said, "Every time I see or hear a new wonder like this, I have to postpone my death right off. I couldn't possibly leave the world until I have heard this again and again. Until I hate it, and then I can die."
Not today, Satan.
I'm listening to Teleharmony. Teleharmon. And then at his New Year's party 9 days later, he boasted about being an early adopter. So he's basically a hipster.
Yeah.
At this point, 1906, restaurants and hotels had it, but not homes. And as the clock struck midnight, he said, "In glory in the fact..." No, two... And as the clock struck midnight, he said, "To glory in the fact that he will be able to rejoice over other dead people when he died, in having been the first man to have Teleharmon music turned on in his house like gas." So he's basically saying, sucks to be you if you can't get Teleharmon and die. Yeah. Words of a poet. The cost would be 20 cents an hour for as much opera, symphony, and ragtime music as they wanted. That's it, just that for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That 20 cents would be roughly $5.50 or £4.29 an hour. An hour! That is a lot. After coming to homes in 1907, Thaddeus wanted to expand past New York City and add more music choices. But this would remain a dream due to technological limitations and the economy. Andy Cavrota, a Teleharmon enthusiast and the creator of Bjork's Gravity Harps, said everything that he did musically had to be generated at full power. With those rotors, he had to power perhaps hundreds or more of those little telephone earpieces. So yeah, so you'd have to set the output next to just loads of unhooked phones. Oh, fucking hell. That sounds like hell.
Welcome to my office. Don't touch anything.
Or you'll break everything and I will go bankrupt.
You might die.
From me, because I'll kill you. He said it was a very insufficient system that lost a lot of electricity on the way.
I'm a genius.
And people would only get faint or distorted music. I assume this is like
This is
if
where
you're
the eeriness
quite
comes
far
in
away.
as well. It sounds like literally like a distant
I think so.
Especially
so
if people are playing,
something.
which I think a very popular instrument at the time might have been like the glass harmonica. that thing that they, not the glass harmonica, the glass xylophone, is it? Where you literally like play that like weird eerie music, and you've got that like distorted through a telephone line with like crackling, and just like it sounds like it's coming from another like dimension somewhere.
Oh god! So like on his end, it would be like da 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 da, da, but then on their end, it would be like. Yeah. So fucking beautiful. Why did this fail? And sometimes regular calls would be interrupted by the music, so you could just be talking to someone and then all of a sudden over your phone.
Nice.
So it probably scared a lot of people that probably thought aliens,
angels. Aliens.
Just the other person's on the other line going, "What?"
I forgot we haven't invented aliens yet.
Oh god damn! There's one now. If the lines came from the same pole, it would sort of like interrupt your music. So if you know what I'm talking about, like the line pole,
just like
the pole of the lines.
When you're waiting for your train, and then there's just like trains just like barreling through the station.
Yeah, whatever
really
you hear, you
loud,
hear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just had his office next to a train station. All you did was fucking train, like in between the music. But that would sound really eerie, so it'd be like fucking train. And despite Thaddeus's best effort, the company closed in 1916, and the machinery was finally removed in 1920. And although his idea failed, it paved the way for things like synthesizers, initially in the form of analog synths, like the Moog.
The Moog modular.
Moog. Then electric keyboards and digital pianos, and the foundation for today's streaming platform. So I tip my proverbial hat to you for helping me listen to Post Malone more. Thank you. And with that, we shall move on to our next section. My personal favourite, I have to admit. 3 real, 3 fake.
3 real and 3 fake.
Welcome back, everyone, to 3 real, 3 fake. Howard, are you ready to test your detective skills?
Yeah.
Because I've gathered 6 possibly Schrodinger's stories. They can be real and be fake at the same time until I tell you. So let's get into this.
I do not understand how that works.
Google it.
Okay.
My first one is semen-filled syringes recovered from grocery store stabbing attack. Real or fake?
Real.
Real?
Yes.
Alabama man, 35, is charged with illegally owning an attack squirrel that he fed meth and called D's nuts. Real or fake?
Fake.
Fake?
Yeah.
My next one is bloke orders Postman Pat sex doll, gets wrong model and tries to sell it online. Real or fake?
Fake.
He wouldn't stop, says one witness, after man is found mud wrestling Burger King mannequin at 2:20 a.m. outside a restaurant.
Real.
Real? My next one is Yorkshire baker arrested after cocaine found in loaf. Police later discovered 3-foot sweatshop underneath store.
Real.
Real?
Yeah.
And my last one is California. Oh, no, actually, I've got one more, sorry.
I've done 3
Oh,
real.
well, you've done
I've done
that
3
one.
real and 2 fake.
You've done that one, sorry. I misread one of them.
Yeah.
Californian Ghost hunting duo claim ghost of Prince is haunting daycare center and have a plan of attack to rid the building of the ghostly presence. Real or fake?
I have to say fake.
You have to say fake.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll start off. The semen-filled syringes, real. That attack happened.
Last podcast on the left may have covered that story.
Oh, very nice.
So I may have had that one.
Let's hope I get it worse. He wouldn't stop, says one witness, after man is found mud wrestling Burger King mannequin at 2:20 a.m. outside a restaurant is fake.
Oh, damn. I said that one was real.
Alabama man 35 with D's nuts is real.
Oh, damn. I said that was fake.
Yorkshire baker arrested after cocaine found in loaf and the 3-foot sweatshop.
Real.
Fake.
Oh, fuck off.
Bloke orders Postman Pat sex doll, gets wrong model and tries to sell it online.
I think I only got one this week.
Real. That one was real.
I said that was fake.
and then Californian Ghost hunting duo thinking that they had prints on their hands is fake. So
I got 2 right.
You got 1 right. I mean, yeah, you got one pair right.
I got
yeah.
1 real, 1 fake. Damn it.
So I think we shall start off with the semen-filled syringes.
That's how I start everything.
I fill them up before I go to work and take them on my way.
But I don't put them in syringes. I just sling them over my shoulder.
That's what I
without
call
looking.
my penis. Thomas Brian Steeman, 51 from Maryland, USA, who was involved Steeman with the semen, who was involved in a grocery store attack on February 18th. So
Who names their kids. Oh wait,
it's a surname, so they don't. I mean, you get to choose later down the line. I mean, you're 51.
I would have changed that at some point.
Yeah. To semen.
Exactly.
It was all Christopher's fine food in Churchton. MD? What does MD? MD is Maryland. Sorry about that. Maryland. MD.
Dallas.
Sounds
Is it
like
Dallas? Maryland? Dallas?
Maryland. Oh, I'm not sure actually.
Wait, what is MD?
Oh, I thought Maryland was a state of its own.
Oh, is it taking the D from the end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maryland.
I didn't even make that connection. I was like,
Because I think Maryland's a state. Maryland's a state. I'm pretty sure.
You're probably right.
I'm probably not. When he stabbed a syringe into an unsuspecting woman's ass, containing semen.
Why?
She initially thought it was a cigarette being stubbed out on her, which, again, both of those, what? Why would... Oh, God.
Both of those are awful.
He turned to me and said, I know, it feels like a bee sting, doesn't it? Which, sorry, what? How would you know that the woman just got stabbed if you didn't know? Or it's...
And then you say, what?
I started driving home and it started hurting really bad. I called my son and said, something's not right. I hope nothing's happens. I hope I make it home. I love you. Going through several days of waiting to see what she was stabbed with. Essentially, so she was scared for her life, basically, which... Understandable. I mean, do you remember those 2 Russian people who had that, what was that paralyzed them essentially for a while? It was Russian spies, I think.
Oh,
on the
yes.
news. Novichok, was it? Oh, no.
I can't remember what they used.
I think it was either Novichok or something. That could be a place in Russia. Who the fuck knows? But they experienced something similar to this. Somebody just like sprayed it on their doorway, didn't they? And then as they came out, they obviously got infected. So I can understand why it would be flipping scary. And like the footage of this is so bizarre. Like he comes up behind her and like just sort of like jabs it with his right arm, and then he just starts looking at the floor so that she would start looking at the floor, and he's like walking around in circles going like, what was that, and like saying, feels like a bee sting, doesn't it? That means that you've done it. You just admitted that you've done something.
What was that? Feels like a bee sting.
Feels like my right hand.
I mean, what was that?
Syringe full of semen.
I mean, what was that?
We are unsure if any of those were the syringe in question, said police. Like, so they found the syringe, or a syringe if he's got multiple. I don't know if he's packing heat. We need to find out that what this victim is up against. If she was stabbed with one of those semen-filled syringes, because would it do much? I suppose he could have a disease or something. I suppose if you inject it into.
Yeah, especially if he's got something that's transmitted through like blood and saliva, and he's a secretor, which means that he secretes small amounts of blood into his semen.
Oh,
Which a small population of people do. It could do all kinds of damage with semen.
Well, I hope it's not that. I mean, because this was quite recent, so I don't think I've got all the facts. But
yeah,
I hope it's not that.
If the needle wasn't clean as well, it could go toxic as well. All kinds of things can go wrong doing that, essentially.
But apparently, it's not clear whether it's steam and semen, but it would be weirder if it wasn't, kind of.
I mean, it's got my name on it.
I wrote Steeman on it.
Hi, Seaman.
Steeman. I mean,
Steamens. How you doing?
Here to Steeman.
You want some steaming? I mean, some semen?
Bend over.
I put it in your ass.
He was supposed to appear...
What do you mean under arrest?
What are these? Cuffs? Gay. He was supposed to appear in court on March 9th. He was He was facing charges of first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and reckless endangerment. So I haven't got any more follow-up on that story, but, you know, as like most of the other stories, I probably won't in the future either. So you will probably have to check out the links for this and any update that comes along.
Oh, no.
Which you can check in the description at cluelessinter.net. Now, Howard, we move on to our next story because, as I said before, the guy wrestling the Burger King mannequin was fake. But the real one is the Alabama man, 35, being charged with owning an illegal attack squirrel that he fed meth and called D's nuts.
These nuts.
So, this is 35-year-old Mickey Joel Pork. Mickey Joel Pork? It's like Paul with a K on the end.
Pork.
So it's like Pork. Who is the proud owner of D's Nuts, the attack squirrel. I really wish I was joking with this one. They have been on his tail for a while now. Because humans have tails. With previous arrests being made, including luring a woman into an assault, where he picked her up and drove her to a remote place, pulled up next to another car, which had two women in, who beat and robbed her, stealing a cell phone, boots, purse, and bag with all of her clothes.
Well, this just got awful.
And just left her there to make her way back.
Yeah.
He was charged with second-degree robbery, but by the time that he was charged with this, he was already in jail for receiving stolen property. I think the woman's fine. It didn't mention anything about like fatal robbery or something, because I'm sure they would have put that in the news for those clicks, boy. But I think she must be fine by now. I hope. Police had been warned about the meth-fueled squirrel that that was trained to attack, and they raided his home after a tip came in about the little guy. And
Hands in the air.
Not high enough, punk.
It's adorable.
With all them holes.
Let him go. Oh, wait, no. He's oh, God.
My eyes. So much meth.
They want me.
I didn't listen. It's just nibbling at his toe or something, but he's just on the floor going, "Oh, take me."
I have fallen and cannot get out.
Backup necessary. And yeah, I mean, it was for the little guy, and plus the house was being used as a drug den. But yeah, mainly the squirrel. Ronnie Reynolds, 37, who was there at the time, living or visiting, I don't know, was charged with drug possession and loitering in a known drug house.
I thought he was going to turn into a Marvel superhero with a name like that.
I thought he was about to say turn into a marble.
Yes.
He just sees the police coming, whoop, 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 whoop. Just goes into a little marble. We found him, Chief. But Mickey was nowhere to be found. So police issued warrants for his arrest, including charges of controlled substances, unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Limestone County Sheriff Office says he was caught on the 27th of June, 2019.
Why?
After spotting him at a motel in Killen. They then trying to escape on a stolen motorcycle and ramming an investigator's car. He was booked and jailed on charges of attempting to elude, criminal mischief,
threw a book at me.
receiving stolen property, and felon in possession of a pistol after they found a .45 caliber handgun in his waistband. .45 caliber, not .45 caliber. I'm pretty sure that would be fucking
blow
mental. That would just
fucking head off.
blow the fucking building off. Stand back! I'll blow up the planet.
Stick him up. Oh shit. Hold on, I gotta put this on a tripod.
I mean, it would make sense. He is the long lost brother of the Hulk, so I could imagine a .45 caliber thing just doing the same as a Hulk punch. So it makes sense. And he was transferred to the Limestone County Jail with a bond of $6,500 to this day, I believe. As for D's nuts, he was released. He was released into the wild. But they didn't test him before they let him go for meth or anything. So be careful in Alabama because D's nuts might get you.
The legend of the meth squirrel.
The legend of D's nuts. I keep slapping my crotch every time I say D's nuts. Although Mickey was denied... Although Mickey has denied feeding the squirrel meth, no one will ever know. And now...
Mickey knows.
Mickey knows.
I'm pretty sure Mickey knows.
Also, D's Nuts knows.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I can speak now. I took so much meth. You should try it.
My brain grew like it too much.
I'm like the Grinch.
I like acorns. Who are you?
You can't have them.
That's fascinating.
Get out of here, bud. Oh, no, it's Alabama. Alabama Slammer. That's all I know. Anyway, so the Yorkshire baker having cocaine in his loaf was fake. So we move on to... I hope you're not listening to this at night, or so...
Is it gonna be spoopy?
You're fairly warned if you look at this article. Bloke orders Postman Pat sex doll, gets wrong model, and tries to sell it online. Now...
How do you get the wrong one?
Well, this is something absolutely fucking horrifying, and you'll see why.
Not that Postman Pat sex doll.
I meant the anime. So someone from Liverpool ordered a Postman Pat. He called it love something. He called it love.
This is
love
my
doll.
love.
I think it's like love doll or something. But unfortunately, he got the wrong model and received the Ted model instead of Pat. He's the handyman in town. He's also the inventor, once building a robot Pat to replace him.
I don't like him, he's too handsy.
Pansy. Although he's still working on the sex robot in the show, I believe.
What?
And if you Google this, like this is the first image that comes up. Howard, I'm going to show you this image.
I don't want to see it.
I guarantee that you don't, but I'm forcing this on you. This is the Ted model. And it is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Why does it look like one of the Chuckle Brothers?
To me, to you. But oh God, look at that one a little bit scrolled down. The one where he's in the box. That is horrifying. That is legitimately horrifying. His nose looks like it's got a mouth.
Why'd you want that?
For sexual pleasure horror. For sexual pleasure horror.
For sexual horror.
For sexual horror. Yeah, like if you like be... Oh, Jesus! Oh, that was great. So,
I can only jizz when I'm really scared.
So don't make me jump or anything, you know.
Boo. Oh, thank you.
Oh, God, that was great. So
Is it good for you?
It's just the messed up squirrel came out and scared him, and he went, "Oh God, that was great! I'm taking you home." So this, oh no, he's from Liverpool, so he would never come into contact with these nuts. So this guy lists it on Facebook to resell it with the description saying, "I ordered this by mistake. I meant to order toilet paper. I swear, it always happens. I was meant to order Postman Pat." I like how he goes into it, but they sent me Ted from Postman Pat.
Can I send it back if I already jizzed on it?
I mean, technically, it's got more. Can you guess how much he wants for it?
I don't want to know.
Yes.
Because it's going to be more than it should be.
Do you want to have
I'll
a little...
tell you that much.
Do you want to have a little guess?
No. Like a couple thousand.
No. He said RRP 350.
Okay.
Never been used. But this saint, this absolute saint, only wanted 250 for the.
Get it the fuck out of my house! It's haunted.
The piece de la resistance.
It's fucking haunted.
Yeah, it is
by
horrifying.
The ghost of the Chuckle Brothers.
It is horrifying. I'm wiping my memory after this of anything that this podcast holds, because that is some fucking weird shit, dude. Some people have replied to this on Twitter with Elsa C saying, "Is it just me, or do we all want to see it naked?" While Penny Morgan, who is clearly very familiar with the Postman Pat characters, said, "My question is, how could anyone think that this looks like Ted? Very scary." I'm going to keep talking for a little bit while I actually Google Ted from Postman Pat, because I really do need to show you this. It is very inaccurate, like, for one.
Yeah.
That is Ted from Postman Pat. and it looks nothing like that horror machine.
Why does that other one have a photorealistic nose when his is clearly just a bulb?
But he has definition on the doll. I think it's
Why does he have
because,
irises on the doll
personally,
that make it look like he's got like sunken demon eyes?
Personally, I think it was meant to be a Justin Bieber doll, and they just scribbled on extra stuff and went, "Yeah, it's Ted.
Burn it.
Honestly, please burn it.
I have no children.
Not after this."
Burn it.
They saw it and started playing with it.
Bury it in the yard.
So Liz Harley inquired, "Is a love doll what I cringingly think it is?" Followed up by, "Why does a Postman pack range of these even exist?"
It's for hugs and cuddles.
You know, bit of contact,
Bit of this, a bit of that.
bit of my steaming semen.
What's your twat? Ow.
Followed up by WTF, OVS. And Hewlett Nackard just asked, "Where from?" Asking for a friend. I couldn't find out if it sold. I don't have a Facebook account, and I
I don't care to make one.
yeah, and I don't want to make one for this horrible thing, unless I do actually, and I want to make this my avatar. But if it did, please email us. We'd love to have him on the show at podcast@cluelessinter.net. We would love to have him on as a guest. Because he doesn't speak and we don't have an extra mic. So fuck you. Let's move on to our next section.
Moving on.
Today, I fucked up.
What you do? Oh, we're moving in. Go,
Recording this podcast.
Bye.
Fuck.
Today, I fucked up.
Okay, everyone, welcome to our final section. Today, I fucked up, where I've gathered 4 stories from one very fucked up subreddit. And we're going to start off with, what is the title for the first one?
You always make me read the fucked up ones, right?
Because I am faint of heart.
Okay. Today I fucked up by repairing a flat. My wife texted me to tell me that the front passenger side tyre on her van is leaking again. It's the second time this month, and I've lost faith in the fix-a-flat shit I put in there last time.
I assume that's sort of like you just cover up the hole and then pump it up again.
It's a quick fix thing. She's at the elementary school helping with a fundraiser and has to be at work by 5. The car is loaded with stuff for this weekend's activities. I agree to swing by, get the wheel, and have it repaired at Walmart. I have 4 hours, which shouldn't be a huge deal aside from it being cold and drizzling. I bring my floor jack stand, and 4-way from the garage because I hate digging into her van to find stuff, and quite honestly, I'm not in the mood.
And quite honestly, I want a divorce.
I'm not in the mood to use clunky tools and jack that can't come with the minivan anyway. Besides, she and my oldest son have the only key fobs on their rings, and I'm not going inside the school to get it.
Oh, fucking hell. So he's going to have to... Wait, so... Oh, God, yeah, take your own tools. Fuck that.
In this story, apparently, the main character is in a bit of a mood.
He seems it, doesn't he?
Everything seems to be getting on his tail.
Well, he said it was the second time that month.
God!
If it happens a third, I'm
Twice.
signing the papers,
Twice
Sarah.
in a month.
How do you burst a tire twice in a month? I'm signing the divorce papers.
It's almost as if the roads around where we live are shit.
Oh,
wait.
I take it back.
I arrive at school in my truck, spot the Silver Town and country parked against a low curb.
Oh, I think that's a type of car, maybe.
Oh, okay. I was
So
going
I
to say
think this is more American. I think
the Silver Town and country. Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense.
town and country.
I slide the jack under, listen to the lugs, lift it into the stand and remove the wheel and toss it in my truck. Now, I'm already in a pissy mood about being out in the rain and my back hurts, but I'm mildly happy to see that I don't have to dig for the security lug adapter. I hate those things.
The what adapter, sorry?
The security lug adapter. I have no idea what that is.
tire things.
It lugs security in an adaptable fashion. I
Like the
assume.
FBI.
Yes.
He's got an FBI in his truck.
At Walmart, about 30 minutes or so of waiting, the technician and I are trying to figure out where the leak is because this tire is mostly inflated and holding pressure.
Oh, so it's mostly fine.
She asks me if I'm sure that I didn't bring the wrong wheel. I browse my text messages to confirm the location and note that the photo showing low pressure warning on a dash when suddenly it hits me. I didn't change out of the security lugs on the van yet. I forgot to do it. This isn't my wheel. This isn't my van. Oh,
This
shit.
isn't my wife.
So, oh my God.
Oh, so he's just he's just stolen somebody's wheel. Here, you have another good one.
When suddenly it hits me, I didn't change out the security lugs on the van yet. This isn't my wheel. This isn't my van. Yeah, no, he's just taken someone's wheel. Oh, shit.
I mean, it's the nicest theft I've heard. Like, here, have a brand new tire.
I'm sure that someone has called the cops by now to report a missing wheel.
Oh my God, he didn't put one back on.
No, at this point, by the time he's got to the place he's taking them and everything, it's like someone's bound to a spot that someone's just taken a wheel.
Oh shit, I thought he put a spare wheel on there so that she... Oh my God.
Yeah, because
Oh.
he's been waiting after 30 minutes or so. And they're still trying to figure out where the leaks come from. So by now, someone's realised, it's been 30 minutes, someone's realised their wheel's kind of like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I swear I left it here a minute ago. Oh God, I thought he replaced it with a spare tire just for the time being for his wife when she came out. Not, oh God. Oh no.
So I'll race back to the school. I'm relieved to find that no one is standing around. I tighten the wheel back on the van and lower it to the ground and get the hell out of there. I find my wife's car in the corner with the obvious flat. I got it repaired before 4 p.m. and for extra security, I also purchased a small plastic polar bear and zip-tied it to the roof rack for future positive identification purposes. Good news, it's easier to find in the shopping mall parking lots now. Thank you. That's the end of my story.
God. Stealing somebody else's tire, my man. In the nicest
I
fashion.
apologize for the terrible accent.
I have to admit, it was the nicest way for you to steal a tire. At least you didn't smash anything up. Oh, I keep thinking he put an extra tire back on. He didn't.
No, he
Okay,
just left
that is the worst way to put on a tire or take off a tire. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Not really. Good story, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for that for writing in. No, you didn't write in.
How could you do that?
Stole the content. Well, the next story that I have for you, Howard, is today I fucked up by playing the Wii, as many of us have seen on the internet. Well, this is a different kind of internet because this is Clueless Internet, and this is a different story. We had a family reunion at my grandma's place a few years ago, and in that house were many objects that were of sentimental value to me. One of those objects was an old Nintendo Wii that me and my cousins used to play when we were younger. Obviously, we fired that bad boy up and we played Wii Sports, as anyone would. Wii Sports Resort was fucking sick.
I would probably be the first thing I'd play is the bowling every time. Just
I'd go for the sword fight, you know, when you can chop up the fruit.
Yeah.
And then you can fight. And then you can. And then you can just like fight your way through about 30 people coming down a mountain, but then you also got to that guy at the end and he would beat you every time. But what a brilliant game. So they fired up Wii Sports. And Howard?
Yes.
Bowling was fine. I won easily. Golf was fun too, as we just started horsing around at that point. My cousins and I.
In that game is surprisingly fun because most golf games are awful.
Pretty boring.
But for some reason in that game it was really fun.
Golf in itself is boring. If you've ever watched Peaky Blinders, you will get the reference, but bloody hell, golf is boring. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. We started playing tennis, and it was pretty tame at first. And then we agreed to put some money on the line. And that's when things went batshit crazy. Everyone started sweating like a CSGO player smurfing in a silver when they played. I know what that means. but
I
it's eluded
don't.
me. Essentially a Smurf is somebody who's like really high level, just using another account just to play on a shit level.
Okay, no.
Essentially.
Oh, I get you.
Just so they can it's been banned, I think, in League of Legends because there were people that were charging people to Smurf and get their accounts to higher levels.
Yeah.
And I assume it's a big problem in CS:GO as well. But yeah, so that's what Smurfing is. For anyone that didn't know, you're learning stuff even in the Today I Fucked Up section.
I haven't played Counter-Strike since Source.
I haven't played it for a while. CS:GO is really good though. I do have to admit. The creators of League of Legends, Riot Games, are coming out with a similar one. It's going to be sort of a cross between. It looks like it's going to be a sort of a cross between Overwatch and CS:GO, and it's going to be free to play. And it looks pretty flipping awesome. Free to play, and it might be on the consoles as well. I do want to try that Warzone, you know, that Call of Duty one.
Yeah.
But it is huge. Like, you have to download 100 gigs. I sent you a picture of it yesterday, didn't I? It is huge, that game, but I do want to try it. I have got that space on my PlayStation, but...
Man's currently been taken up by...
Oh, yellow fella. Unfortunately, during one of my bouts, my aunt was extremely close to me, and I was not aware of this, as I was extremely focused on beating up my cousin. Without any awareness... No, he didn't say that. I'm just focusing on winning the game. Without any awareness of the impending hazard, I swung my forearm as hard as I could, and I accidentally bitch-slapped her boob.
And I accidentally on purpose bitch-slapped her boob.
And accidentally, really hard on purpose, bitch-slapped her tit off.
Oh.
It was so hard that the silicone implants in her breasts were flipped and was now presenting the boob as a convex slope. So I think he just punched it so hard it flipped upside down. Looks like you got a titty twister there, dude.
Oh, dude. Oh, that was awesome. But you also punched a little chick, dude.
You should probably check yourself into the hospital. I hope you're not in the US because then that would be expensive. We had to cut the reunion party short and bring her to the hospital because she was in so much pain. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dude.
And that is the end of that one. I don't know how it ended up. The auntie died.
Hello.
Yes, Neelix, the auntie died. No, she didn't. I don't know. I hope not. But my next one is Today I Fucked Up by Sending Letters. When I was 14, my best friend introduced me to a little game called Animal Crossing. In this game, you live in a little town and... Who the fuck doesn't know what Animal Crossing is? But if you don't know what Animal Crossing...
I've never played, but even I know what it is.
But if you don't know what Animal Crossing is, which the new one's coming out soon, really tempted me to get a Switch so badly because it looked fucking sick. I love Animal Crossing.
Just get an emulator and play one of the old ones.
I was playing New Leaf on an emulator. I have one on my phone. I have the GameCube one on my phone, emulated. Really sad.
That's genius. That's exactly how you do it. If you like, I could buy a whole Nintendo Switch.
Or I could just play the really old one and still have so much fun because Animal Crossing is great.
I can still whack Ocarina of Time on any fucking time and play that.
When a game's good, it's good. Yeah. It's timelessly good, I'd say. I think probably these games will still be good in another 20 years. Watch me say that and they're just barely playable at that point. Where is the nose hair physics? It'll get to that point where people are just...
I don't want to live in a world without nose hair physics.
A pupil that doesn't move? Am I a barbarian?
I mean, what's the point of even bothering to live?
God! Fucking Animal Crossing. I can't even read the text. This isn't even 18K.
I give up.
God, how did they do it? Simpletons. Anyway... If you didn't know, you could write letters to all the little animal villages.
I didn't know.
You can just, I think you can get stationery and then you just write a letter and then send it to the...
Dear cat, meow.
You could send that and then they'll send you a little letter back and then it might say something like, oh, come to me for a job or something.
You're taking the piss.
Fuck off, meow. And then just sends it back.
Dear twat, meow.
And they could write letters to each other or back to you. One day, I was taking out my hormonal energy on the villagers by writing them angry sexual letters that were, it says borderline, and then he crosses that out and then puts pretty rapey in nature.
Oh.
I turned out fine. I don't know why I was like that. No worries. So, that's what you're telling me, man, with words through the computer. I am not believing you.
I'm perfectly fine.
I'm perfectly fine. Ignore the dead parents behind me and the severed heads.
It's perfectly fine.
I love Animal Crossing.
No, you don't seem to understand, officer. Everything is perfectly fine.
Start stabbing him with a hairpin.
Perfectly fine.
We soon learned we could take our save cartridges to each other's houses for sleepovers, where I would where we could visit each other's villages, grab fruit off trees that didn't grow in our home village. So yeah, you only got like one. I don't know how much you know about Animal Crossing.
I know that you play it.
It's a game,
and it's basically like a little life simulator.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So like, but in your town, you sort of can only grow one fruit, so you have to go. It kind of promotes the whole multiplayer aspect of it.
So like, to get certain things, you have to trade with other players
to get as much fruit as you can. So like, you can get like pears, berries, apples, blah blah.
Or own multiple farms, I assume.
Well, only one tree spawns.
Different save games.
Oh yeah, if you do different save games, you could do that. But
you wouldn't be able to trade with yourself.
I don't think you could trade with yourself. You could. Nintendo do make class games. I consider Nintendo to be sort of the Apple of the gaming industry, where they're not having to like keep up with the other consoles. They are the consoles. They are these nuts. They are these nuts of the industry. Because they are nutters leaving E3. Why? Why Sony? I liked it when it was all together.
Well, E3's not even happening this year anyway.
No. And they're speculating it probably will never happen again.
It
would be a shame. I do have to admit, I used to love E3.
I like watching people watch E3.
People getting drunk watching E3.
Yeah, basically. People streaming E3 through the...
Shout out to Funhouse for the
awesome
for the drinking one
every year, which they won't
be able to do this year unless they make their own.
They did in the podcast announce they're going to do another drinking game soon. Though.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I am looking forward to that. Well, with this one, so essentially, what you could do is you could get fruit from other villages and then bring them home and sell them at an extraordinary profit. When you got back home and sold it to your Tom Nook.
Genius.
And even some animal friends would leave your village to go to your friend's village. How cool! It was cool until I got a call on the landline. And my mum said it was my best friend who was grounded and couldn't hang out today. He'd murdered 3 people. When he told me why, he said that his mum was furious about the nasty video game he and his little brother were playing. Animal Crossing is for psychopaths, said
yes, mother, that's why I'm playing it.
Said no one. That's all I knew, and weeks went by, and I never saw him again, and everything was fine until I booted up Animal Crossing, only to find a brand new villager in my town. I remember it was a cute goat girl. Oh yeah,
I'm a cute goat girl.
Meow. Okay, this one's broken. She introduces herself to me, and upon second request for conversation, she pulls out this lovely, wholesome letter to her about summer fruits and fish, signed and stamped, Love, Luke, my best friend. That was the moment I realized I fucked up. I realized at this point in time, his little brother was playing the game and some innocent little animal decided to show him, with glee, the heinous, obscene sexual letter I sent him. Knowing I sent somewhere like 5 or 6 out to various villages, there was bound to be more evidence of my disgusting 14-year-old brain. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't go to the house and wipe a saved file. That was a cardinal rule of boyhood. Friendships would end at the drop of a save file. I do agree. I told my friend about it, who then made his little brother a new village and killed him. I think on a separate cartridge. Fucking hell, they bought a whole new game on a second cartridge. He was too young to really notice that it wasn't his original town because he's a fucking moron. Your house would not be there, my dude. Like, I'm starting the game again. I see nothing wrong with this because I'm an idiot.
I'm sure there was a bridge here.
Why are you speaking to me again, weird cat? Oh, God. All was good. All was good.
All was blood in the blood.
All was good, and the blood finally rushed back into my body.
Gross.
I hope you enjoyed my dramatic reading of Animal Crossing.
I didn't.
I
enjoyed your reading of it, but the content scared me.
I accept roses as payment.
The content scared and frightened and horrified me. Today I fucked up by binge drinking.
As many people have.
No,
Unfortunately.
never. I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I. Drinking is not an addiction. It is a life choice. No, I'm joking.
It's a lifestyle.
No, it's horrible.
Darling. Setting the stage. I'm 24. The rest of the people in this story are around my age. Maybe 20 to 25. It doesn't really matter. So why did you bring it up?
So not quite the Golden Girls yet. 24, young.
It doesn't really
Not
matter.
old.
No.
No. Not the Golden Girls age, that's what I mean. Yeah. So they're not at the golden peak
I should hope not.
soon yet.
We were at my friend Jay's house. Jay lives in a co-op house with
He lives in a co-op.
a co-op house.
Whoa.
I did not know that co-op.
I did not know that
make
co-ops
houses.
sold houses in their stores.
Well, it must be a big house because it's got 20 plus people living there
That's probably a meal deal.
and probably as many bedrooms.
So,
It must be fucking
Shit.
huge.
or it's either shit or it's huge.
Or it's like a mansion or some shit.
Oh, but then again, when you think about it,
Excuse me.
if you have like apartments in New York, the places are massive. There's like 500 plus people in one building.
So my friends and I like to drink. It isn't the greatest hobby, and I'm sure there are better things we could be doing with our time, but for now we're happy.
It gets us through the day.
It gets us through everything. On this night, for whatever reason, we decided to really drink in capital letters.
Decided to go fucking hard, dude.
Hardcore. I think the phrase that I used was, let's get drunk like it's high school.
Oh my god, no, you did not. Oh god.
And everyone said, lame, dude.
I hate you. Why are you in my house?
Jay and a few friends had just returned from a couple weeks long festival, and we were all excited to see them. And apparently, the best way to express that excitement was by partying with Handles. Oh, okay, that's American measures. Handles, 1.75 litres of very cheap whiskey.
Okay. Oh my god. Wait, what? How many liters of whiskey?
1.75 litres.
Oh my god, that is a fuckload of whiskey. Oh my god, I think I'd pass out and die.
I think that's enough.
I've had one drink and I'm about to die. Help me, I'm dying.
Now, as anyone who binge drinks knows, there is a certain point you reach where it feels like all the alcohol is no longer affecting you. I know this very well.
You feel invincible, if anything.
You're just like, I don't feel like you don't even hear yourself slowing. You're like, I don't even feel it, mate. All right. I'm telling you, I could cross the road right now. Just like
You would notice a
just
difference.
like that.
I would zap across the road. And back.
No, mate.
I would go
mate,
back.
Mate.
I would come back.
Mate. I've only had like, mate.
1.2 litres so far.
I've only had like 4 drinks. I'm fine.
Did I mention it was pure whiskey?
Mate.
But in reality, all he's doing is going,
He's literally just like leaning against the wall, just like, mate.
I think he's broken.
We all hit that point at some point during the night, but we keep trudging along. I could probably write a whole book of today I fucked ups off of the things we did that night.
Do you want to start that sentence?
Do you want to start that sentence?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you just stumbled a bit, and I was.
I did. I stumbled so hard I put my fucking head through a glass table.
I was like that woman at the caucus with the coin flip event. Say, "Do you want to start that again?" And he's just like, "No, it's heads."
No, it's clearly the Havers.
Oh god.
I could probably write a whole book of Today I Fucked Ups off of the things we did that night. Puking inside a mascot helmet, peeing on a friend's shoes, fighting a tree, and etc.
So all of the awesome shit you do while drunk on 1.75 fucking litres of whiskey. Madness.
Drinking it like it's fucking water. But this Today I Fuck Up...
But today I fuck up.
Today this I fuck...
It kind of sounds like Joe Biden saying, "This today I fuck up, Trump."
Ah, sure, man, you know the thing.
You know, men and women equal the thing, you know.
We know this because, you know, the thing. But this Today I Fuck Up actually doesn't even take place until long after we called it a night and went to bed.
So they don't. Oh my god! So this goes late on in the night. This guy's a fucking
Yeah.
hard partier, man. Everyone else has gone to sleep, and he's still wired off his tits.
Well, let me back up a little bit. So, as the night, morning question mark, wound down, we all headed to wherever we were sleeping for the night. I ended up naked in Jay's bed with her.
Oh,
Fun was had.
nice.
Well,
My man.
what a romantic. As much
We played Bionicles. It was amazing.
oh, fun was had.
I brought a picnic.
Basically, I was terrible because I was really drunk.
Are we married?
As much as fun as two incredibly sloppy drunk people can have, and we passed out for what I assume was going to be a very heavy sleep. So imagine to my surprise when a few hours later I was suddenly wide awake. Now, this wasn't your normal waking up. As I woke up, I realized a few things. I was standing in the middle of Jay's room. I was still naked. I was still very drunk, and I had to pee very badly. So not like, okay, let me put some pants on and I run to the bathroom badly. I mean like I had maybe 2 seconds until 1 litre of whiskey and probably no water came flooding out of my disappointingly limp noodle in whatever direction it happened to be pointing at.
It's like one of those hose toys you can get for the back garden where it goes everywhere when I'm drunk. So, you know, aim's not a thing.
Aim is not in my vocabulary, even though I just said the word aim. You just disregard that. Shut up.
Was that on record?
Guys, I'm not proud of this, but I panicked. I didn't see a cup or a jar anywhere. But what I did see was Jay's cat's litter box.
Wait, I thought he was in the was he not in the bathroom?
No.
Oh no.
Her cat's litter box is in her bedroom, which is the worst place to put a litter box. But, it was a shared... Was it a shared place or something? It was, wasn't it?
Oh, well, I think it said there were a lot of people.
Yeah. I didn't have time to think about the ramifications. I just ran over and started unloading into the poor receptacle. There was so much pee, it just kept coming.
Because it's 1.75 litres of whiskey that will run right through you, dude. Oh my god, whiskey is nasty.
The entire time, I kept stealing glances over to the bed to make sure that Jay was still fast asleep.
So she wouldn't catch me in the horrific act that is occurring right now.
That she wouldn't witness my shame. At this point, I have filled the litter box.
Oh my poor cat.
The litter has stopped soaking up my urine and is now just floating in it. I have...
What is floating in? Oh god, oh no. Oh god. What have you done?
This little island's there. And then he just falls asleep and just falls into it.
Where's the cat gonna live?
Oh, I'll put him on this island. Oh, it's sinking.
No, it's piss.
You stupid animal.
Who would piss there? Not a human.
Just kicks it. Fucking stupid.
Goes all up the wall.
Oh,
Bounces off the wall onto his girlfriend in bed.
Laugh, someone pissed up the wall.
Oh god,
Your cat exploded piss.
I pissed on the cat. I mean,
Help.
I'm too drunk.
I'm a terrible person. I have reached peak shame. This literally couldn't get more embarrassing. Thank God she was still asleep. I finally finished up, shook myself dry.
I'm a dog, apparently.
And started crawling around the floor looking for some clothes so I can dispose of my shame.
Oh.
The whole time, I'm paying very close attention to Jay. I do not want her to wake up, as I'm crawling right next to the bed, not recognizing any of the stuff I'm finding. Jay's eyes open, wide.
Oh my God. Whoa.
And
She sensed it. She was like, I heard pissing in the glitter box. Who did it?
and a few things became instantly clear. Jay does not have a cat. I am not in Jay's room.
Oh my
This
God.
is not Jay. In fact, this is a long-haired, very confused, getting very quickly angry man.
Oh my God, the worst.
Well, fun was had indeed. My brain just short-circuited at this
We
point.
had some fun.
Fun.
You'll do.
I like you.
Get over here.
I started trying to mumble an apology about how I thought this was someone else's room and that I didn't live there. I was lost. He wasn't having it. Granted, he was barely awake himself. He just tells me to get the fuck out of his room. And then I stand up. And he realized I'm naked. The last thing he said to me was, "And you're fucking naked, what the fuck?" Before I apologized.
I hope in exactly that manner he gets up and he's screaming
what
for
the
a bit.
fuck?
What the fuck, bro?
Why? Before I apologized again and ran out of the room. I left the room, realizing it's lights out. People will be waking up any minute now. It's not lights out, it's light out. Fucking hell, Howard. People will be waking up any minute now, and I am still butt-ass naked. Oh, yes. I was also on the third floor of a house with 20 identical unlabeled rooms. I had fallen asleep.
Unlabeled. There wasn't even numbers on them.
I had fallen asleep in a room on the first floor. So when he wakes up from his blackout state, he must have been sleepwalking, looking for a toilet, essentially.
Oh, man.
Ended up in some guy's room.
This is the Hangover Part 4.
I ran around the house for 20 minutes trying to find some rhyme or reason. I was still very drunk. I finally found a dish towel to wrap around myself, which gave me a bit more confidence, and I started logically going about things.
Shit!
I have a towel for trousers.
How lovely. You stole mine, didn't you? Jealous.
Finally found the room I fell asleep in, because I left the door wide open, with Jay still sleeping, fast asleep, none the wiser. I climbed back into bed, and to this day, she has no idea about my early morning adventure.
Until now, when she listens to this podcast and figures out who bought the cat smelling. It was you.
Hey Jay, where's your cat? I'll go to sleep.
I was really hungry, and it was like all meaty, so I kind of ate it.
Oh, yeah. My drunk ass had walked up 2 flights of stairs and entered some random room thinking it was a bathroom before I thankfully woke up. I was so embarrassed in the morning that I left with a shirt over my head in case the guy saw me and just ran to my car. Never got brought up, and as far as I know, the guy doesn't even remember it. So...
Well, I certainly will, and I will remind him next time I see... No, I won't.
You fool.
I'll remind him. Hey, do you remember that guy that pissed in your, litter box, dude?
That's
on a morning?
me.
I know that guy.
I know that guy because I am him.
I am. I'll do
That
it again.
guy, him.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
I'll piss on you.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. That's the end of
Thank
the
you very
podcast.
Jesus
Yeah, that will do it for another
Christ.
episode. Wow, we have gone for a long time on this one. You can check out all the links at cluelessinter.net. Follow us at cluelessinter. Follow us at cluelessnet. Email us at podcast@cluelessinter.net. And I'll be streaming between 6 and 7 p.m. GMT on twitch.tv/cluelessinternet. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you very much for listening. And goodbye.
Hope to a good night. One, two.
Testing. Hello, people of Earth. Welcome to my broadcast. I've chosen one of your accents to portray my voice. It happened to be from a place called Engelhand. A bizarre little place
There we go. Got rid of the echo.
with a lot of tea and Boris Johnsons out there. That is a euphemism for your penis. I'm literally just sitting here watching some guy fucking power wash his drive. It's very mesmerizing.
Yeah, it needed some music. What the fuck? Why are you watching that?
It's oddly satisfying, I suppose.
I love him.
It's just, he's my best friend.
I'm gonna marry you.
I love his drive. I don't know. I suppose it's one of those oddly satisfying things. You know what I mean? Sounds very futuristic, slightly. That was good, Howard. Now it's my turn.
But can you do this? Oh yeah.